Hi everyone, welcome to Patrick Dugan Music. Today we're going to go over the different parts on the guitar as well as how to tune the strings. Okay, so I have a steel string acoustic guitar with me today, and the parts are going to be a little bit different on this guitar than they would be on an electric guitar. So we're going to look at this one. So the main components are we have the body, the neck, and the head, or the headstock. So body, neck, and head. Okay, on the body, we have a few parts down here. We have the sound hole. We also have the bridge. Right, so this is where the strings connect into the body, is the bridge. Each string is going to be lifted up here. This little white piece here is called the saddle. So the bridge, the saddles, the sound hole. This piece here, your guitar may or may not have one of these. This is called a pick guard. Cool, this is going to be, the idea is that if you're strumming kind of hard, this is going to prevent you from scratching the finish on your guitar with your pick. But it's also just kind of a decorative piece. You can get different designs for pick guards. You can also just take that off completely if you don't want it there. Some guitars have a pick guard, some guitars do not. Also around the sound hole, some guitars might have a design there. Others may not. That's called a rosette. Okay, and then onto the neck here, you can see that the neck has these individual spaces. These are called the frets. This is fret number 1, fret 2, fret 3, fret 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and so on and so forth. And you'll notice that there are fret markings. There are little inlays underneath the strings here, and there are usually little dots on the side of the neck to help you know what fret is where. Cool. Also notice that the 12th fret has a double dot on it. So that's significant because at the 12th fret, each string is going to be exactly 1 octave higher than it was as an open string. We haven't really talked about octaves yet, but if the open string is an E, like this is an E, then the 12th fret will also be an E. And you'll have gone through the entire musical alphabet and reached E again. That's called an octave. So each string, and this guitar is in a slightly different tuning. Usually string 6 is an E. I have this in drop D tuning. But the 12th fret will be 1 octave higher than the open string in every case. Okay, let's talk about the strings for a second. String number 1 is the bottommost string, and they're numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So string number 6 is the top string. String number 1 is the bottom string. Okay, and we're going to need to memorize the string names going in either direction. So from bottom to top, it'll go like this: E, B, G, D, A, and this last one is supposed to be an E. I had my guitar in an altered tuning before I picked it up. So again, from bottom to top, that's E, B, G, D, A, E. Cool. You can remember that by everybody goes dancing after eating. Just think about like if you go to a wedding or a formal event, people usually sit down and they eat, and then there's dancing and drinks and stuff. So everybody goes dancing after eating, from bottom to top. Okay, following the strings down the neck, we hit this piece here, which lifts each string up a little bit and has a little groove that it rests in. This is called the nut, N-U-T. And then each string follows down and wraps around a tuning post, which is connected to a tuning key, or you could just call it a tuner for short, not to be confused with an electronic tuner device or a tuner app, but this is really called a tuning key, cool, or a tuning knob. You'll hear people call these different things, but if you follow the string down, you can see which tuning key is going to operate which string. Cool, so this is string number 1, 2, 3, and then string 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we have to get the strings tuned up in order to do anything on the guitar. You have two options for that. Your two best options are an electronic tuner, which this just clips on the end of the headstock here, and then has a little display, and it'll tell me what the note is. It'll also tell me if I'm sharp or flat. Or you can download an app for your smartphone. So I'm going to show you how to use the app on the smartphone. The app that I would recommend is called Guitar Tuna, spelled like the tuna fish, T-U-N-A, Guitar Tuna. So it should be free. Go ahead and download that one. And you'll see that this gives you a little display of your guitar, and when I play a string, it's going to tell me what the name was and whether I am in tune or whether I'm sharp or flat. So here's string 1 again, and it's chiming. That means I'm pretty close to being in tune. What would happen if this string was a little out of tune? I'm going to turn it a little bit on purpose. So now I'm a little out of tune. Let's see what it does now. So now it tells me that I'm close to an E. But when I look at this, it is tracking to the left of the center line. So if you're tracking to the left of the center line like that, it means that the string is a little bit too loose and needs to be tightened. So I would follow the string down, find the appropriate tuner, and I would slowly tighten this. While I'm tightening it, I have to see that I am coming closer to the center line, although I'm still a little bit off to the left, so I need to tighten just a little bit more. And I'm going to use tiny little movements until I get that as close as I can to exactly in the center. Just like that. Okay, now these tuning keys down here, if you go clockwise, it will be tightening. Let me turn this off for a second. So clockwise is tightening, counterclockwise is loosening. So if we want the string to go up in pitch, we need to tighten and go clockwise. If we want it to go down in pitch, we need to loosen and go counterclockwise. So all three of these strings will behave the same way. So we did string 1. Let's hear string 2. Should be tuned to the pitch B like boy. So your string 2 ought to sound like that. The tuner ought to say a B. And it ought to be tracking in the middle, right on that line. Cool. Again, if it's to the left of the line, we need to tighten this by going clockwise to raise that pitch. If it's to the right of the line, we need to loosen to lower the pitch. String 3 should sound like this. It should say G, like girl, and be tracking right in the center line there. If you need to adjust that, that's going to be this far bottom tuner. Again, tightening will raise the pitch, that's clockwise. Loosening counterclockwise will lower the pitch. Use small little movements when you're adjusting that. String number 4 is D like dog. Should sound like this. And these tuners, these were upside down, these are right side up. What happens now is the counterclockwise and clockwise motions are reversed. So if I want to loosen this one, string number 4, I would go clockwise. If I want to tighten it, I would go counterclockwise. So just keep in mind that it's opposite from the bottom 3 and the top 3. Alright, so this is a D like dog. So if we listen to this one again, shows I'm a little bit to the left of center. Whoops. So I keep just a hair to the left of that center line, so I need to tighten it just a pinch. Even though it's chiming, it's telling me I'm kind of good enough, but I want it to be right on the money. Because the more exact that your guitar is in tune, the better everything is going to sound afterwards. So that is a D. String 5 is an A like apple. Should sound something like that. Again, if you want to, clockwise will be loosening, counterclockwise will be tightening. So if you are to the left of the center line, you're going to want to tighten this by going counterclockwise. If you're to the right of the center line, you're going to want to loosen it. And remember, use small movements when you're doing that. We don't need to do big turns. We're doing tiny little adjustments. Last one is string 6. In E, mine's a little bit sharp, so I'm going to make some adjustments here. Cool, and that's E like elephant, right? So all together, the strings should sound like this. E, B, G, D, A, E. Everybody goes dancing after eating. Cool, so getting your guitar nice and in tune is going to be your first step before you start playing. You got to get it in tune, otherwise none of these chords will sound right, none of your songs will sound right. So it doesn't really matter how good of a player you are, if your guitar's out of tune, it's going to sound bad. Your other option is a clip-on tuner. If some of you might have one of these already, these are pretty great. There's one by the brand name of Snark, S-N-A-R-K, that I would recommend. They're about $15 or $20. The one I'm using is a little bit more expensive. This is a strobe clip-on tuner. It's supposed to be a little bit more exact, so it's not going to work quite the same way. But the clip-on tuner will work pretty much like the app did. It's going to give you a center. It's going to tell you what the note name is it's hearing, and it's going to tell you if you're on the center, to the left of the center, to the right of the center. Cool, so clip-on tuner, I would recommend buying one of those if you don't have one already, and downloading the app. So the brand name that I would recommend is Snark, S-N-A-R-K, for your clip-on tuner, and Guitar Tuna, like the tuna fish, for your phone. So once you have the guitar in tune, then you're ready to play. Alright, so just a quick summary of everything we just learned was body, neck, head, bridge, saddle, sound hole, rosette, pickguard. Strings are numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Everybody goes dancing after eating. On the neck, we have the frets, numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, so on. Cool, this is the nut, the headstock. These are the individual tuners or tuning keys. Cool, also your guitar might have some spots to put a guitar strap. This is called a strap button. This one has one that's drilled into the guitar, and then another one on the back. If you just have one on the back of the guitar, you can attach this front end of the strap. This will attach up to the top of the neck, right by the nut. You can get a kind of a string or a piece of leather, or you can buy a little accessory that's meant to connect your strap right there. Okay, so that is an overview of the steel string acoustic guitar and how to tune the strings. Good luck with that. Remember to use small movements when you're tuning. Tune your guitar every time before you play for the best results. And I'll see you next time. Thanks.